Heroes, you are our last hope, saviors of this world. I know you can do it, as long as you stay... Oh. They're already f***ing gone! Sidequest!
Our started. Why is it already recording? Oh, it is. Okay. Okay. No, it started recording 4 seconds ago. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold on. You wait. No, it is right. 2, 1. All right. So we've all been there. We've all been at the border of Mexico thinking, how did I get in this situation? To me, it's happened a couple of times. I don't really want to get into it, Jekyll. But
I didn't do it.
Talk about it because the government would come after me.
Yeah, we all have those friends or those moments just where the phrase, "just trust me, bro," is uttered. And you either say, I'm about to die, or, yes, perfect, I trust you completely. So tonight we are telling those stories, the just trust me moments from our lives, or if we've lived a boring life, or just can't think of anything, we'll turn to the internet and find the just trust me people of the internet. I'm betting they're from Florida.
Oh, Florida or Mexico? One of the two.
Florida, Mexico, Ohio, or
Dayton.
the random people in Idaho that do the craziest things.
Alaska.
So,
Alaska's just on hard mode. I don't know.
no,
what to tell you.
why don't you start us so we can get example here?
All right. Let's see. A just trust me moment from my life. What has happened that I could say is just trust me? Should we title these stories? We should title them.
Oh God.
I think the title of no, I've already told that story. I just thought of a just trust me moment that I was gonna call We Need One More. But you guys already know that story.
Wait, do we?
How I got roped into show choir.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. I've told that on the podcast before.
Okay.
I mean, there
like
was that
later.
moment. There was the moment for that Halloween party when you made Molotov cocktails, and you were like, "Trust me, this will work." And one of them did shatter.
Oh yeah, the flaming fucking like bottle rocket in the middle of the bonfire. Yes.
Yeah, no, not your strongest take, honestly.
No, that night was full of moments. I think that night ended up with me face down in a field while it was drizzly.
It was in a tent. And you were throwing up outside the tent,
Yes.
and I had to drag your lifeless body into your house, wipe off what vomit I could find, and then tuck you in for the night.
No, you threw me in a bathtub. I remember that because I took a bath. And then I
Yeah,
was
you
sober.
did take a bath, but I took you in, man. I was there.
Yeah, I know you were there, and I know.
Yeah.
I know.
In order to resuscitate Noel, you had to waterboard him real quick. It's just a little bit.
Wait.
He was conscious.
Satin. Were you at that party too? No, it was Sora. It was Sora Draco who was there.
Yeah.
Sora was there for like 15 minutes. He left immediately.
I wonder why.
But
No, I just remember-
he did show up. But let's see. Just trust me. Well, there was the dead body thing.
I'm sorry, what? You know what? No,
Was that-
doesn't apply with you. Continue.
Okay, so we'll call this story So I Know These Woods.
That's a great title.
Yes, I thought so. So there I was. Let's say it's 2019, 2020.
Peak fiction right there.
Yeah. It's about
I'm afraid.
It's about 2020, and I get a text from a friend of mine. This guy is known to like get up to some things. So he's got a bit of a rep. But, you know, I've known the guy for a long time, so I answer the text and I open it and I'm like, "Oh. What's he want to do?" "Hey, so there's a missing person a few counties over. And I think I know the woods that she might be in." That's the text I got at like fucking 7:30 on a Thursday.
You might know the woods she's in, or you're the one
Yeah,
responsible.
the guy had a guess as to where the body might be. So he comes motoring up the driveway. Fucking parks his car. I come out of the house like thinking, are we really doing this? Is this really what we're going to do at 7:30 on a Thursday? We're going to drive 3 hours out to the middle of fucking nowhere and wander around the woods looking for a dead body?
Yes.
Yes,
you are.
that is what we are going to do. But he
That sounds
pulls
like fun.
up. He pulls up, and in
Dead
the
body in his
passenger,
car.
no, in the passenger seat of his car was the girl I had been talking to for a while. So I'm thrown for a loop here. So I get in the
like-
back seat.
Being a
After
wingman
running,
must tell me you're being a panel.
I ran back inside and I grabbed a bottle just to be prepared. So then begins a 3-hour journey down the highway going to where this dead body might be. Or at least that's what we were told. I did not mention that my friend in this story doesn't like GPS very much
Jeez.
and has a
Fuck.
shit sense of direction. So he drove 3 hours the other way. Just fucking... The state we live in is an abyss. So it's 3 hours of cornfield and fuck all. Then we get to some podunk-ass town, way the fuck away, and we get out of the car and we're like, all right, this is a cornfield. This isn't a forest. So we look around the town, and there's nothing. This is like a fucking one-horse town. There's like a diner, a corner store, a bar that looks like you lovingly get stabbed in it, and a library. So we go to the diner. We have some nice diner pie and like the greasiest meatloaf I've ever eaten. And we
You
get
can't go
back
wrong
in the car. And we drive 6 hours the other way. And eventually find a forest. Now, if this is the forest that my friend knew about to begin with, I will never know. It might have been. It might not have. We pulled off the side of the highway, and there was a forest. And he said, "This is the place. Get the lights." It's 3 a.m. by now. No, it's about maybe 1:30 by now. So we get the lights. Also, we stopped back in the area where we originally lived and dropped Mo off. The code name I will give the girl is Mo, if that wasn't obvious. Dropped her off. She's not with us anymore. She got sick of our bullshit.
I wonder why.
Yep, I don't know what happened there. Anyway, so me and this guy are out in the woods, combing the woods with these, like, fucking... They're like the big flashlights that you use like power tool batteries for. So they're bright. We're sweeping the woods, looking like something out of like. To be honest, when I was younger, I used to watch like Teen Wolf, and the first episode basically had this same premise. Except nobody got turned into a werewolf that I know of. That I remember. That I can confirm.
Wolf.
No,
Yeah, we don't know what happened. But anyway, so we're out there in the woods with these lights. Except at some point we don't find a dead body, and we're getting fucking cold. And all we've got is these stupid fucking flashlights. Also, we're like 1.5 miles into the woods right now, and we're kind of lost. So we give up, and we build a fire. And just get drunk around a fire until, like, I don't know, 9:30 in the morning. And fucking haul our asses back to town, having accomplished literally nothing. And now, it's a great story that we can tell on a podcast. And, well, I feel like the best way to tell this would to hear it from the other perspective of the guy who proposed this idea. Jekyll, you want to tell your side?
Of course it was you.
Here's the first part. While listening to the story, part of my brain was like, I don't remember this one, but I remember some of these details because I remember doing stuff like that, but I don't, like, I remember knowing about this wanted poster of this person that had gone missing, and I remember knowing, like, roughly where this place was, but I forgot that this is how these events took place.
That was some straight up white people shit, by the way. When niggas, when we see wanted posters, we just lock our doors, double check our doors. Y'all motherfuckers actually go out searching for them. And that's how niggas get missing too. Not risking my life for no goddamn stranger. Fuck that.
It was, look, there was money involved, and I thought this sounded familiar, and the fact that I can't remember part of it is, and it being back in like 2019 is starting to make sense.
Yeah, also, bottle of liquor. When we left, there was no bottle of liquor anymore.
Oh. That might explain a few things. Wait, who's Mo? Wait, which one?
I can't fucking tell you that on camera.
I mean, I'm trying to think of which one that would have been. Anyways,
it's the second half of her Snapchat name.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about now. Yeah. I remember wanting to go and do that. I forgot that I went through with that with you.
Yeah.
Look, you gotta. It was a chance to help someone. Also, life is boring, and when you don't want to be home searching for a dead body late at night because you can't sleep anyways sounds
again. That is some white people shit.
Dude, you asked
niggas
me.
Don't do that.
I knew you weren't gonna. I knew you weren't gonna remember this story, Jekyll, because you didn't remember the story the next week when you asked me to go again, and I told you to go fuck yourself.
Oh. Also, for those that don't know, I also suffer from DID, so there might be a possibility that Noel went on a trip with someone who claimed to be me, but wasn't me. And honestly, that would have been more funny if I just missed a whole entire day of this. But yeah, no, I remember that person because I remember seeing the poster up in the gas station with the reward, and it was like, I think it was like $1,000. It wasn't much, but I recognized the railway in a picture that was on her social media account. And funny enough, that's where they found her. So I was on the right track. I just don't have a sense of direction. And I hated that when you said, "Oh, this person doesn't like GPS very much." I'm like, "Huh? I mean, yeah, I tend to have that problem, but I'm pretty sure this story isn't me."
You turned a 2.5 hour drive into a 9 hour drive.
I mean, but isn't the real message about the friends you made along the way?
You didn't
Bitch,
make any friends.
we were already
Dude,
friends. We didn't meet anybody.
Y'all
But
lost
I
somebody
wanted to
from what
spend
this sounds
time with
like.
you. We were spending quality time together looking for a dead body.
Dude,
That
we
shit
could have fucking
awesome.
we could have played Xbox in my garage again.
My nigga, you could have did that in the South Side.
Oh,
Been in
did
South
I
Side.
mention that this shit happened like I don't know if it was early October or late September.
It was a little cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
It's
may
fine.
I may be white as well, but I wouldn't be doing that shit.
I would have straight up told you, just like I told my old friends the one to play with a Ouija board, to go fuck themselves.
See, and here's the worst part. No, I thought that I was going to be able to lead in with a joke about one of my moments where I definitely hit someone with a "just trust me" thing, and I was going to lead on that. Yeah, I put that body out there. But um, okay, so
If
I,
I
I
would have
want to
found
tell
that
a
body,
story.
that's what they would have thought.
I actually want to tell that story so we have some content. So I was on my second job of ever having, and it was this look. I worked at a diaper factory that was more ghetto than anything else I've ever seen to this day. And like people lost limbs inside the machines. Like for a diaper factory, it was very violent. It's kind of funny, and fights broke out all the time. Um, but during my breaks, I was a very, very, very horrible coworker because I knew other people taking like hour-long breaks, so I tried to do that too. Plus, it was a 12-hour shift, and it killed you. So when I knew I was about to quit, I started taking these longer breaks, and sometimes I'd call out halfway through the day. I'm not proud of it, but I'm also not proud of that job either. Um, so I call off on a break one day. I say, I'm feeling sick. I don't want to be here. I'm heading home. It was a slow day, anyways. Our machine was going to be down the rest of the night. Um, and I knew a friend that lived not too far away. And I went and I picked her up, and I'm like, hey, you want to go do something really dumb?
Oh
Like,
no, not this story.
um, I'm not sure if you know about this one, but if you do, like, I feel bad.
Okay, wait, is this the beans in the parking lot?
No, 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 no. No, this is not the beans in the parking lot. You can tell that story later.
Yeah, I'll tell about the beans in the parking lot because I got a call from you guys saying I might have to bail you out of jail.
Worth it. Anyways,
Patently
but I
not worth
knew,
it. I'll tell you in a minute.
so I knew of this park that they don't close the gate at night. And if you go up there, there's a path that goes into the woods. And if you go off that trail and you keep walking and you take a left after so many steps, you come to this really cool looking valley. And on the other side of the valley, if you go up that hill and you look over that edge, it's just a quarry. It's a massive freaking cliff. So I was like, yeah, it's maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. Why not? I'm just gonna steal you and let's go. Like, we won't get arrested. Just trust me. And she's like, fine, let's go. And we went, and we got lost in those woods. It was great. And like, I knew that I had screwed up because I went too far, and I noticed that there were trail cams. There was a tree stand and all this other stuff. And someone please start talking because I have to go do my job real quick.
Okay. Well, do either of you guys have any of these kinds of stories? Because, like, Oh, we can't.
It's nothing where we're, like calling up a homie in the middle of the night and be like, "Hey, yo, want to go look for a dead body?"
Okay, we
I
started
have
off
one
a
where
bit
I
far,
may
but
have ended up in a demonic ritual spot that was in the garage
all
through some
right,
certain circumstances.
all right. Tell us about your Satan ritual, sir.
Yeah, how did you summon me?
So
Yes, how did you do this? Why is
I
Satan
guess
in your
this one
garage?
I would call this one ghetto ghetto what the fuck was I about to say? I didn't lost my
He said
clubhouse,
Hank.
ghetto
Sound like you were about to
clubhouse,
say
not
Ghetto,
hangout,
Hank
ghetto,
ghetto
Hill.
clubhouse.
ghetto clubhouse. All
So
right.
there
It's
were
Mickey
in the
Mouse
south side
Clubhouse.
there were various abandoned homes around us.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So me and one of our friends in the neighborhood, as well as my cousin that lived in the
What
half
are
a
the
duck next
names?
to me.
Make up some names.
Um, fuck. um,
Fuck. All right.
Dude, I give people code names on the fly all the time. It's how I talk about everybody.
God damn it, you, you were
Fine,
put me on
Already
the
okay.
reminding
spot.
me of the time we broke
I'm
into
trying to
that
think of
building.
non problematic.
Just call them Tim and George.
That is so fucking
Dude, I don't
No,
know.
meatball. How about this meatball and Master Shake? How about that?
Okay, Meatball and
And
Master
that's the
Shaker.
shit.
Cool.
Meatball, Master Shake, and
Little buddy.
Nappy, because there was multiple of us.
Okay, Meatball, Masturbator,
Nappy.
and Nappy. Cool. Great code name.
I did,
See, carry on with your story about the cult.
Yep.
and we were talking about how we wanted to find a clubhouse. I told them, "Oh, don't worry about it. Like, I got this. My older brother taught me how to kick indoors."
Ah, so you were the don't trust me, bro.
Time to do some sketchy shit. Do da,
Doo-da,
do da.
doo-da. Hope I
Try to
get
get
away
away
with
with
it.
it.
And there
Oh,
was
do-da,
Oh,
Dave.
this the house right next door to the half a double I lived in. It was abandoned, but it was like being fixed up and shit. They were eventually planning on selling it. So we went to the backyard. The fence was already kind of our fences that connected us was already kind of wonky. All they really had to do was step on it a little bit more to lay it down.
The fence is
Steve
only
really
12.
likes the back door, if you don't know.
They're usually easier to kick into.
Up to the shoulder, buddy.
And that's what I did. I kicked right under the doorknob, popped that bitch open.
Excellent
And
technique.
we could tell that cats had been sleeping in there. There was various covers, sheets, syringes, used condoms. So we went upstairs where there was fucking paint. Like you could tell the people was working on the house and had left all their paint equipment there. So we started to paint the house for them. Our older brothers, who were on the porch across the street from us, saw us, started running towards us. We all took the fuck off.
As one
All of the
does.
people, all of my friends that was with me got caught by their siblings at the back door. By the time my older brother, we'll call him Dreads, got
Okay.
to me, I was sitting on the porch like I had do shit wrong. Then these bumbleclods decided to steal our clubhouse after I did all the fucking work. So they were all, my homies was upset, needed a new one. I was like, bet. I found the first one. Trust me, I can find another one. This ain't shit.
You did a lot of looking for the first one. You just went next door, bitch.
God.
Hey, I was in elementary school, okay?
Okay, okay. Oh
And
god,
there was another abandoned house behind us, behind my friend's house. And they had a garage, nice sized garage, that was really close. And there was like this metal pipe that was kind of bent in a way that it looked like a crowbar. I was like, bet, I know how to do this. Wedged that shit under there and I pried the fucking door open. Enough for us to roll under. We got in there, pulled out our little raggedy ass flip phone track phones for a light. Thinking that, oh, we done found the perfect new hideout. Our brothers ain't gonna be able to find this shit. As we're finding the light everywhere, first we start to see bones.
Oh boy.
Then red stains. Then we see
Uh,
fucking 3 6s marked on the wall. The fucking pentagram drawn on the fucking floor. With various
Fine.
bones and shit hung up in various places of this
hey,
fucking
hey, Jekyll, where were you on that night?
garage.
I was about to say, and this is how me and C met for the first time.
We heard something moving around inside of that garage. And
It
I
sounded like
immediately
Nick,
pushed
right?
my homies out the way and rolled under the garage and started to run home.
I had
I
nothing to
never
do
looked
with
for
this.
another hideout again.
I had nothing to do with this. Uh,
For a couple
Dude.
days after that, like whenever we was playing in my friend's backyard,
Dude,
we would hear noises and like feel like somebody's watching us from back there.
I remember the days of being a kid and trying to find the perfect hideout. There was a whole summer where me and my buddy Rico fucking tried everything. We broke into buildings. We just, like, there was an old barn on his property that we like ripped down to the bones to like get boards to try and build a treehouse. There was just some tarps we just set up in a little fucking teepee and tried to sleep out there. Did pretty much anything we could do. And during that process of trying to build the ultimate fort, a game was invented. Stick Wars. We would just stand on opposite sides of a large field with as many sticks as we could gather, and then whoever moved first was a bitch. So, yeah, so we'd stand.
That reminds me of Bloody Knuckles, but with sticks instead.
Yeah, so we'd stand at like 20 paces with a pile of firewood each and just fucking throw them at each other.
see,
The game
I actually
ended.
had,
The game was only ever played for one summer. Sorry, I just got slightly distracted by something. It's a good thing there's no. Yes, actually, it's a good thing there's no camera.
Oh, we flashed?
Yep, Swan just walked in the room and flashed me.
I heard the brain shut down for a second. That's kind of funny. I heard the Windows reboot sound.
Yeah. But anyway, the game
I never had
was
with
the
no
game.
body exit.
The game was last played during a session where, I don't know, Rico apparently got pissed off at me for something. I can't remember what. I probably deserved it. But today we decided, we're going to have a game of Stick Wars. So I grabbed my normal, sticks and branches and whatever else I could find. And this motherfucker, I don't know how he did it. I don't know if he had an axe, a hatchet, a chainsaw, a particularly well-trained beaver. He rolls up with, what looks like a truckload of logs. And I couldn't be a bitch and back down at this point. As this man starts fucking Donkey Kong throwing logs at me. Missing most of the time, but he found one about halfway through his stack that apparently was light enough. And he fucking hucked this thing, and it broke right across my forehead. I went down, log went down. I never took a step, so I wasn't a bitch. But I lost my vision for 2 or 3 minutes. But when I got back up,
Why?
I pulled the splinters out of my forehead because he chucked a fucking wooden log at my head. And we agreed to never play that game again. So what we did instead for the rest of that summer was play shirtless airsoft.
You guys smacked around, and now you guys like looking at each other shirtless. I see how it is.
Yeah. They
The
threw
wood
their
was a
wood at
little
each
too
other, and now they
powerful
just
on
like
your head.
seeing each other shirtless.
This was back in the days of like Xbox 360 and MW3, middle school, just fucking. We were
Dumb
either
as shit.
we were knuckle dragging morons who were either trying to kill ourselves riding skateboards and scooters down a hill at mock Jesus, or beating each other with sticks, shooting each other with plastic guns, or fucking clacking away at Xbox while we watched Tobuscus.
I was grounded for the majority of
we
my
went
middle
for
school
Fallout stat
era.
here. We made sure
I got
intelligence
into too many
was at,
fights.
was at a 1.
Yep, we
Sub brick.
yeah, me and Rico spent the entire summer like that. He also lived on the biggest fucking hill in town, so I would ride my bike over to his house, and it took me like 30 minutes. It was maybe a 2-minute car drive, but it was a 30-minute bike ride because of this stupid fucking hill. So, obviously, what we did a lot also was lay down on skateboards and ride down the hill as best we could. There was a creek at the
Okay.
bottom. And a bridge. And oncoming traffic.
Sounds like fun.
I don't know how I survived my adolescence.
We don't know either.
I don't know how I survived my adult life. Anyway,
See, I played a game like Sticks
Yeah.
at one point with my neighbor when I was younger. But believe it or not, my caveman brain, we didn't use sticks. We just used what were attached to the sticks. I had this really nice
Gross
electric
sledgehammer.
scooter. Yeah, I had this really nice electric scooter
oh no.
that could hit roughly 15 miles per hour, right?
Oh god.
And this was back when there wasn't any of the new homes around where I live now. And so this road was dead. So we knew we could get away with some of the sketchiest country shit we could possibly do.
What were you guys playing chicken?
And yeah, essentially. We there was a field in between our houses, so someone would have to get on the scooter, drive down to my house, and see if they can make it back to where we were at his place. While the other one sat in a ditch lighting bottle rockets that we had found in a vault. That we probably weren't supposed to have.
Motherfucker, are you in New Vegas? What do you mean vault?
What vault?
There was a vault inside of the broken down barn, and apparently there were a lot of explosives
You
in there, but
mean
we only cared about
safe?
fireworks.
It's not a vault, it's a safe.
Yeah, what was the
It was-
vault number
it was a-
then, motherfucker? Jesus Christ.
It was one of the big ones, the ones with the giant wheel on the front of them.
It's still a safe.
It was right next to the casino table that he had stolen.
Bitch, what the fuck?
Anyways.
You were in New Vegas. What are you talking? What the hell?
My life is a mystery. Anyways, but
Did you eventually take
We-
enough drugs to see a flaming Yaogwai? Like, what the fuck is...
Though I will say,
I
me
didn't do
and,
drugs until I was at least 22.
me and Jekyll did grow up in the same town, and I will say it is a bit of like so far
It is a New
removed
Vegas
from
town.
everything that it is kind of New Vegas at time. Don't go digging in some of the farmer's field. I still don't know if that C4 is inert or not.
Oh, see, the reason why you
See,
don't dig in the
we
field in my old
only
neighborhood is
stopped-
you might find a dead body.
Oh, I guess I have to tell that story now.
Yeah, you
we
do.
only stopped playing that game after I shot a bottle rocket and it exploded on the side of his face.
All right. Well, with the explosives talk, I have another just trust me, bro moment.
The government's gonna love us after this podcast.
Yeah, the government's gonna.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is actually a famous just trust me, bro story. So the year is 2014. And recently, my parents have bought a new property. And on that property are a bunch of abandoned outbuildings. And they said, all right, Noel, you're a smart kid. Don't hurt yourself. You can do whatever you want in the outbuildings. It doesn't look like there's anything too dangerous in any of those. Do you know what was in those outbuildings?
You.
Me and literal fucking junk. Scrap metal, spare parts, unlimited tools, and the internet. So, there was a TV show I was very into at the time. It had explosions, it had science, it had two guys that kind of hated each other, and I'm not going to mention the show on this show because...
I may have already said it. Was it Mythbusters?
Bitch, okay.
Yeah, it's Mythbusters.
Motherfucker, I'm trying not to tell the internet who the Don't Trust Me Bro is.
Oh.
Safe. The internet probably knows.
We're gonna bleep that.
Hey, that show
No,
was
we're
fucking
not.
awesome.
Anyway, I was really into Mythbusters at the time, and there were a
They're the reason
couple...
why I know how to make a bomb from the shit in the
Yeah,
kitchen.
anyway. Yes. That's kind of the story I'm gonna tell here. But at the same time, this was my first experience having unrestricted internet access because I had my first phone. I had my first iPhone at this point. So I had everything, including Reddit and Twitter. So,
The mistakes upon mankind.
yes, I had access to every bit of information that ever existed, including there were a couple of like engineering YouTube channels that I watched at the time because I still watch that kind of YouTube. It's pretty fun. Like currently I like Mark Rober and the Hacksmith and Jay Laser. Those three are really fun. But
We're getting canceled, aren't we?
That is how I made my flamethrower glove.
what?
So
Yeah, but why are we getting canceled? Those three are fine. Anyway.
Yeah, it's after this story.
Yeah, but whatever. So there were other engineering YouTubers and famous engineers that were active on the internet in 2014. If anybody wants to deduce who the fuck it was, they can do their own research. We're not going to name any names in this story. But
he won't.
don't name any names in this story. We are too small. We will get sued out of existence. But anyway.
Just like
I'm too poor for them to sue me.
Yeah.
They'll go in debt if they sue me.
They will shut down our show. Anyway, so I was really into watching Mythbusters, and they kept talking about C4, right? All the time. A bunch of episodes involving C4. And I was like, all right, so what exactly is C4? So that's what I typed into Reddit. And then I got an answer from one of these engineering YouTubers that I watched at the time. And he
love plastic explosives.
He had written out what C4 is, what it's supposed to do. Here's the materials you need to have. Here's what you would need to do to them. And here is some obtainable versions of what these chemicals are. So I fucking convinced my uncle to drive me to the hardware store because I was like, oh, I'm working on this project out in the barn. I need these things. And I listed a bunch of other parts that I didn't technically need for this project so that it didn't look suspicious that I was buying only chemicals. So I get home with the haul, the supplies, and advice from someone I trusted. Someone on the internet, because they're trustworthy. So I set out with my big vat, my fucking big-ass wooden ladle, and I made something. What I ended up making is not the gray plastic explosive that C4 is meant to be. No, what I ended up making was like, it was kind of like slime. Like you guys have seen people make slime or have made slime in the past. The like half liquid, half solid goop that you can kind of mold into a ball, and it was blue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it was blue. But also because I kept fucking it up and thinking, oh, I did it wrong. Let me put this blue goo into this bucket next to me and I'll try again. So I ended up keeping trying again. There was something wrong with the formula that this guy had put on the internet because it wasn't making typical seafloor. And I ended up with like a 40-gallon Rubbermaid bin full of this blue goop. And I was like, all right, well, maybe it just looks different on TV. How is this supposed to work? And to light C4, you typically run an electrical current through it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have that. So my plan was, it's like, okay, C4 is also supposed to be sticky. I'll stick some on that tree. I'll get a long stick and set it on fire and just poke it hard. Which is not how C4 works. C4 does not light on flame. But
Nope.
whatever this fucking blue goo is explodes on impact. So when I fucking chucked it at the tree to stick it to the tree exploded. And then I was scared because I had made a highly unstable blue slop that's in a 40-gallon Rubbermaid bin on the ground next to me in a barn. So
For all those home viewers, if you ever buy a stump remover, you're automatically on the list. So please do not try any of this information at home. We do not support your actions. Don't be
Yeah.
stupid like us.
don't do this.
However, if you do, it
At
wasn't
least
our
don't
fault.
get caught.
Yeah,
And
anyway.
if you do, we do not at all recommend that you film it. But if you do, please just hashtag
God,
Sidequest.
I am so glad that at this point in my life, my iPhone had such a bad camera that I didn't film things. Anyway,
Shit, what do I-
so I'm
This
now
man also made a railgun. Fair warning.
Oh, hey, I wasn't gonna bring up the railgun.
Too late now.
No, we'll leave that as mysterious lore. But anyway, I'll tell that story one day, not today, because this is a just trust me bro moment. And
Next
the
week.
internet was the just trust me bro. Because now I'm scared and alone at fucking 2 a.m, having just blown up a tree. I am positive the cops are gonna come out to this field where there's nobody around for literally 2 miles in any direction. But I'm convinced the cops heard that. I'm gonna get arrested if I don't get rid of all of it.
Just that one time the serial killer goes to try to bury the body there.
Now, funny you mention.
Oh no.
So just if you have 40 gallons of a mysterious blue sludge that explodes, how do you think you would dispose of it? Any suggestions?
The ocean.
The ocean?
Yeah, or a lake.
Do
Special
you want my honest answer? Or like
I would like if you think, well, I would like to hear your funny answer and your honest answer, honestly.
So, funny answer? Here, I'm throwing that bitch in the lake.
Yeah?
Or I'm going to pour it into like. Never mind. That sounds like a war crime. Never mind.
Okay.
We are war
But-
Bury it at a construction place.
Ding ding ding!
Actually, that would be funny.
Ding ding
Um,
ding, motherfucker! C. As a 14-year-old child with 40 pounds of the high explosive sitting next to me, convinced either my parents or the police have heard the explosion. I go a few properties over, where I remember a farmer was building a concrete pad to put a water tower on so he could refill his sprayer on his tractor halfway through spraying his field. He had dug a big pit to pour the concrete into to make the pad to build this tower.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's what
Where
I
we put a
thought.
body too.
That's what I thought. I thought it was perfect. No one will ever find this.
At
So
least not in the amount of time that you'll get caught for it.
Yep. So what I did was I dug the pit maybe another 3 feet down from the bottom, carefully lowered the Rubbermaid bin full of weird blue explosive shit down into the pit, and then I climbed down into the pit myself, covered it back up, and then never said a word to anybody. I even buried the shovel I was using at the bottom of that pit because I thought it would be evidence.
See, and now in my head, all I see is later on in the future, this family lineage keeps going, and they're like,
Daddy, what's the tower over there?
"Oh well, you see, Timmy, this is where my grandfather actually made this himself, and hopefully nothing bad ever happens, and then lightning strikes it, and then the whole farm's gone. There goes Timmy.
Hey.
Timmy has no legs now.
Hey,
We
See,
I was-
Lieutenant
Father,
Dan.
Father,
Hey,
I can't
see-
feel my legs.
No.
See, I was
Now,
thinking, what if the
here's-
family expanded their home or something, or needed
Here's
to remove
the
the water
thing.
tower?
I just want you guys to remember this. I didn't mean to kill anybody.
I didn't mean to kill anyone.
This is his confession. This is how we found out that he wiped out a whole entire family.
No. As
You found a
far-
destination bloodline they
Hey,
asked,
as
which by the way
far
was
as
fucking
I
amazing.
know, it didn't explode at any point.
Yeah.
You just buried a landmine on accident somewhere random. on
It's
someone
like
Wait till that
fucking-
family.
Dude, it's like 10
Wait.
feet down under a concrete pad. That shit's fine until they
Wait till
develop
that family-
land.
Wait till that family gets kicked the fuck out of their land, and the city comes in, wanting to build
I
some
wonder if
projects
the
or a mall or
colors are
some
glowing.
bullshit,
It seems
or
like
even a
Old
pool,
Brown's poison.
and they
Hey.
dig that shit up.
Hey, dude, that's the city's problem. It's not my problem. I don't
Why
live
are we
in that-
getting the same readings of plutonium here?
Dude,
We're not close to it.
Hey,
Pure reactor.
no, it's not. There was nothing radioactive in there. There was just. I'm not gonna list. Never mind. Gonna stop myself
Yeah.
right.
You guys
before-
look-
Hold on,
you're
hold on.
immediately on a
Let me
list.
grab my pen. What is the list?
Yeah, I'm gonna just stop myself right there.
Dump
Probably for the
remover,
best.
sulfur. You need the what's the type of ash?
no,
No,
Bennett?
hey, hold on. Nah, we're not doing that. Anyway, somebody else tell a story before the police kick down my door.
Trust me, bro. So here's the
no.
thing. This is how you make that stuff. real
Oh,
quick. So
by the
first of all,
way,
you need
Hey, to solidify my legal defense, this was a story I read on Reddit.
bullshit.
I-
I'm gonna call it some major amounts of bullshit.
just go
Damn,
with it,
damn.
guys. Just go with it. I don't want to go to prison.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Anyways,
Don't drop the
Trust
soap,
me, bro, it
bitch.
didn't happen. Okay, so there was that moment when we got into that abandoned building down in C-Bus.
Way to disguise
And-
what city we were in. Fucking C-bus? Are you fucking kidding me?
C-Block, okay? Anyways, so I don't know whose great idea it was to bring who we did with us, but if you're going to break into an abandoned building, don't bring someone who can't even get on top of a ledge. This is not body shaming. I'm a
hold-
bigger dude. I understand weight problems, but I know how to jump through a. Bro, he brought. I forget if it was him or someone else, but someone brought someone half my height that
That
just
was
could not get off the ground. If they jumped, it was less than an inch off the ground.
motherfucker.
And he had to
Hold
pull
the
that
fuck
shit
up.
through the window.
Hold up. You invited her.
I did not invite that girl. I don't know her.
Okay.
The
okay,
fuck you
Timo,
don't know her.
No. If you're thinking of Betty,
like,
Betty
Ronnie,
was
like,
fine. Betty made it through the window.
Who the fuck else was with us?
That
was-
one chick,
It was
I
me.
think,
random slut.
It
I
was
think
me.
Magnus brought her.
It was me, you, Betty,
Magnus.
Magnus, and Goldfish.
You're-
Yeah. Yeah. It was, but I don't know who that one girl was, but she didn't make it through the window. We were trying to get in there quick.
Right. Yeah. Who the fuck was that? I think
I
that was.
don't know.
Wait, no. That was one of Magnus's friends. What was her name?
I do not
So
know.
you guys brought a big bitch along to try and
The
sneak.
big bitch.
No,
not
short
us.
big
Let's say I remember her
Right.
name now, and I'm gonna call her Season.
Okay.
Because you must know what seasoning is.
All that seasoning is the reason why she.
Yeah, now she looks like all season tires, if you ask me. Anyways,
The Michelin chick.
The Michelin
no
bitch.
shit. Michelin bitch if it was 4 foot tall. It's still that round.
So an Oompa Loompa.
Oompa Loompa looking ass.
Yeah.
Sounded
Anyway,
like an Oompa Loompa.
I do know what you're gonna talk about now, but yeah. Whose idea was it to go there? Who was the just trust me, bro? I think it was Magnus who was the just trust me on this one.
No, because we had found this building, but we were going to make it to the top. Because it didn't half the building get destroyed by that point.
Well, yeah, it was a building actively.
No.
being
With her, they was still together. We went back and made it to the roof without her.
Yes, because the building was actively being decommissioned. So like we went 1 week, then we came back the
And
second week.
we didn't need the building falling down while she was there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, that the rest of it would have went. But I remember that was such a weird building because like it, on the outside looks like it hasn't been touched in centuries. We got to the second or third floor. There was a room that looked like it
Like
was out of a commercial.
Yeah.
It was like pristine.
Yeah, weirdly in that building, I remember this now. There was like, so it was like a condemned building, right? Like an old firehouse or something, and half collapsed. But we get to the second floor, and we turn a corner, exploring the building because that's what we're there to do. And it's like we're 20-something morons with a bottle of whiskey and a flashlight, so of course we're gonna abandon the condemned building. So we go into this room, and in the room is like a functional show apartment, like a setup apartment, as if it was
Like he had stuff in the cabinets and everything.
Yeah, it looked like it was like a walk-through apartment or something.
Like think back rooms.
Big back.
We were in the back rooms, to be honest.
Like somebody else brought a big bitch along for the back rooms? You fucking stupid.
Yes.
How is she escaping the monsters? Starts rolling? Like what the
Well,
fuck?
she's
That's
bait.
why you
She's
bring. That's why you
bait.
bring one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You just gotta outrun that bitch.
Yeah, we just gotta get ahead of her. The monsters will get her.
I hate to say it. I brought protection when we went there. I had weapons on me,
He brought
and
condoms.
I was
No.
worried. I was
no. Yeah,
I came to work strapped.
It's the protection.
Pre-covered, motherfucker.
I'll tell you no now.
Here's the worst
It's
part. Here's the worst part.
situation, I'm tripping, motherfuckers.
When we started going up the stairs to try making it higher inside the building, I started telling who should go where in the lineup, and since I had the weapons, I tried to be first up the stairs, and I remember distinctly making her in the back of the line. I was like, if you have to run, that bitch goes first. I didn't know you to begin with,
Oh,
and you were
wait.
slowing us down.
No, I remember hearing you guys doing this, because by this point I had gotten sick of you guys arguing so much that I had fucked off and was climbing the building on my own.
No, what you should have done.
There was another thing of stairs, and I remember we got to I think it was right towards the roof entrance, and I could have swore I heard footsteps, and that's when I called it off and we were going back down because I knew some of the other people with us were starting to panic.
Yeah.
And we left. The second time we came back, half the building was gone, so we were trying to make sure the lights weren't on near the windows so no one would see us from street level.
Uh-huh.
But it was so funny when we went around the corner and went to shine our lights, and there's just nothing. The ground is gone. You are looking off a cliff, and
Dude,
there's a
it was
fire
so
station
cool.
right there.
It was so cool.
It was like a whole apocalyptic experience.
Dude, it looked...
And we made it to the roof. That was so much fun.
Yeah. Satin, you gotta tell a story. We've all told the story now, and we got 10 minutes left. Give us your story.
Come on, cock pocket. Pull a story out your ass.
Unfortunately, I'm neither ghetto nor stupid, so...
Hey, no, I take
Sheltered white
offense.
kid.
I take offense to that. I'm both.
I was never stable.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, ghetto, stupid, or both. Unfortunately, I don't really have like any of those really.
Go to Reddit.
Come on, tell us a Florida
Find
man
one online.
story.
I'm trying to think of something here. God damn
I'm
it.
surprised you don't got no story. You're a goddamn redneck.
Yeah, I know.
The Florida man that robbed a Wendy's with an alligator.
Dude,
was
I
the
love
funniest
that.
thing.
I love that story. That one's great. We should do a whole episode on Florida man stories.
Well, I'm down. I'm so down for a Florida man episode.
All right, we'll put that on the docket.
All right, I don't exactly have a. It's not really a trust me story, but I think it's a funny enough story because.
Hold my beer.
Yeah, hold my beer counts too. Let's do it. Just give us the story.
I don't think it's anything like that, but it's a fun little story. When
Okay.
I was very young. What me and my family used to do was our neighbor had like a back walkway into the woods where we hike through forward and back. And we'd gone through that, and we were coming back, and my sister had kind of ran ahead of us. I guess both of us ran ahead, but she had gotten ahead of me, and she was the first to reach the door. Now, at this point in time, we had a dog. Her name was Zoe. She was the best German Shepherd. She, my sister, the, IQ that doubles as shoe size dumbass that she is, decided the best course of action was, as soon as she got to the door, to open to get inside. My dog, Zoe's first reaction upon seeing the door open was to book it as fast as fucking possible. My dumbass was in her running path.
Oh no!
I don't think I was double digits in age at this point. So she comes. No, wait, I had to be. Yeah, I had to be. I was very young still. So she comes barreling through, and I get hit by her running through, just blowing past me. But it wasn't just a simple I got tripped and fell face first. No. I did a front flip. My dog forced me to do a front flip, as just took out my legs, and I went forward and I landed on my ass. I landed perfectly in sitting position on the ground. Somehow.
He turned into Lieutenant Dan. He ain't got no legs no more.
Oh yeah, no, I fucking in case the dog came back, I actually crawled over to the side because just my legs fucking hurt. Didn't break anything or whatnot, but just fucking hell. Adult
Evil doggy.
Yeah, adult German Shepherd running as fast as she can, plowing me in my fucking legs. Yeah, it hurt like a motherfucker. So that was fun. I was hoping I could tell that story. It would bring up a fucking trust me or hold my beer.
We'll try a topic like this again another time, and we'll find something good for you.
Maybe we'll just make it purely Reddit stories and just hear what people have to say.
Oh, dude, fuck yeah! Can we do an "Am I the Asshole" episode?
Oh yeah, we could.
I've had some real life those moments.
Dude, okay.
I have said some fucked up shit to people when they've pissed me off.
Anytime, if we have to do that, we have to do the stories, and then at the end, ask the whole entire crew, "Am I the asshole?" And then there's gotta be a vote.
I had a friend's birthday party. That friend birthday. I made a quip about their parents putting NyQuil in their sippy cup. No, it gets better in front of their parents.
Fuck yeah! All right.
And the father was laughing.
Hold on,
I accidentally outed a friend for being an incest baby.
Hold on, save your stories for another week. But we do have to get back to our main quest now. We're at an hour.
Dear Lord.
Thank you guys for joining us on this side quest. We're going to get back to our main quest now, and you guys should do the same. Goodbye.
And go roll the blunts. See you, Bumble Clips.
Peace, motherfuckers.
Bye.